Okay, once again, welcome everyone. So today we are going to go deeper into the prayers by Kunti Maharani. So over the last week we saw an overview of the prayers. Now we will go verse by verse. We will recite the Sanskrit. We will read the translation again. We will read the purport as well, and we will dive deeper into the uh, ecstatic meaning of these prayers. Okay, so it's Canto 1, Chapter 8. Okay, it starts with text 18. Okay, so everyone can stay muted, but please repeat after me. Uh, yeah, I will say, so every verse has 4 lines, and um, in Bhagavatam or even in Bhagavad Gita, there are only 2 meters. In Bhagavatam, there are many different kinds of meters. So in this particular meter, in this verse, there are 8 syllables on every line. A syllable is an independent pronunciation unit, which contains a vowel as well. So na is one syllable, ma is another syllable. Only N is not a syllable because it becomes but when ends with a, that becomes na. So na is a syllable. A syllable is an independent pronunciation unit that we can pronounce. But is uh, it doesn't end with a vowel. Hmm? Okay, so na is one syllable, ma is another syllable, ca is the third syllable. So 3 syllables. Then pu is the fourth syllable, ru, fifth syllable, sham. Sh is the next syllable, sixth. And then twa is the seventh syllable, and dyam is the eighth syllable. Or we can even say this is like 8.5. Okay, so or the last syllable usually, uh, if there is an additional half, then sometimes we just don't count that half. Okay, so there are 8 syllables. So this is Anushtup meter. Okay, similarly, there are 8 syllables on even on this line, then 8 on this, 8 on this. Okay, so some other time we can also have an in-depth study of various meters and how to pronounce them melodiously and how to memorize them with word for word meaning, so that whenever we recite these beautiful verses, how we can recite them with devotion. As we recite the Sanskrit, even the meaning of these verses, which is so deep and so beautiful, evokes in our mind as we recite. So, okay, for now, we won't go that deep. Okay. So, please repeat after me and we will go line by line. Everyone else can stay muted because when everyone is reciting and multiple people are muted because of the communication lag that happens over internet, we cannot sing in actual unison. But of course, when we are sitting together, it is easier to sing in unison. Okay, please repeat after me. Kunti uvacha, Kunti uvacha, Namasye purusham tvadyam, Namasye purusham tvadyam, Ishwaram prakrite param, Ishwaram prakrite param, Alakshyam sarvabhutanam, Alakshyam sarvabhutanam, Antar bahiravasthitam, Antar bahiravasthitam. Okay, hope all of you recited after me. Now, word for word, Kunti Uvacha, Srimati Kunti said, Namasye, let me bow down. Namaste. The word namasye or namaste, the word nama basically means na maha. It's not about me, it is about you. So namaste is Such a beautiful greeting in Sanskrit. Na maha. Ma means me. Na means not. So namaste means it's not about me, it's about you. Hmm? Namaste Purusham, the Supreme Person. Twa, you. Adyam. Adyam is the original. Ishwaram, the controller. Prakrite, of the material cosmos. Param, beyond. Alakshyam, the invisible. Sarva, all. Bhutanam, of living beings. So Sarva Bhutanam is of all living beings. Antah, within. Bahi, without. Outside. Avasthitam, existing. Hmm? Okay, so uh, yeah, can somebody volunteer to unmute themselves and read the translation?
Yes, Prabhuji, I can read.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So, I have to read from translation, Prabhuji, right?
Yes, yes, translation and purport
Okay.
as well.
Translation. Srimati Kunti said, O Krishna, I offer my obeisance unto you because you are the original personality and are unaffected by the qualities of the material world. You are existing both within and without everything. Yet you are invisible to all. Purport. 1 second, Prabhuji. I'm sorry. 1 second. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakta Vedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada ki Jai.
Yeah.
Because of the phone, Prabhuji, 1 second. Okay. Srimati Kunti Devi was quite aware that Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, although he was playing the part of her nephew. Such an oh my God. So sorry, Prabhuji, it's very small and my eyes are.
Oh, no worries, no worries. It might strain your eyes, Mother.
Yes,
That's
Mother.
okay.
Yes, 1
That's
second.
somebody else can also read that.
Enlightened lady could not commit a mistake by offering obeisance and undo her nephew. Therefore, she addressed him as the original Purush beyond the material cosmos. Although all living entities are also transcendental, they are neither original nor infallible. The living entities are apt to fall down under the clutches of material nature. But the Lord is never like that. In the Vedas, therefore, he is described as the chief among all living entitled. Nityo Nityayan Setanas
Chetananam.
Chetananam. Then again, he is addressed as Ishwar or the controller. The living entities or the demigods like Kendra and Surya,
Chandra.
Chandra and Surya are also to some extent Ishwar, but none of them is the supreme Ishwar or the ultimate controller. He is the he's the Parmeshwar or the super soul. He is both within and without. Although he was present before Srimati Kunti as her nephew, he was also within her and everyone else. Did I miss the line, Prabhuji?
No, perfect.
Okay. Everyone else. In the Bhagavad Gita 15.15, the Lord says, I am situated in everyone's heart, and only due to me one remembers, forgets, and cognizes, etc. Through all the Vedas, I am to be known because I am the compiler of the Vedas and I am the teacher of the Vedas. Queen Kunti affirms that the Lord, although both within and without all living beings, is still invisible. The Lord is, to speak, a puzzle for the common man. Queen Kunti experienced personally that Lord Krishna was present before her. Yet he entered within the womb of Uttara to save her embryo from the attack of Aswathama's Brahma, Brahmastra. Kunti herself was puzzled about whether Sri Krishna is all uh, pervasive or localized. In fact, he is both, but he reserves the right of not being exposed of to persons who are not surrendered souls. This checking certain is called the Maya energy of the Supreme Lord, and it controls the limited vision of the rebellious soul. It is explained as follows.
Okay, thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
So, such a beautiful purport by Srila Prabhupada. He is addressing all parts of the verse. So, yeah, Namasya Purusham Tvadyam. Krishna is the original supreme personality. He is the supreme personality. So, uh, we are also conscious beings, and so is the Lord. Lord Krishna or God is like an ocean, but we are like a drop from that ocean. So now, uh, is the drop same as the ocean in quality? And is it the same as the ocean in quantity? What would you say? So the acharyas answer that uh, a drop from the ocean is qualitatively the same as the ocean. Say in some ocean, there's 30% salt content, or whatever the measurement unit may be. If we take out a drop from that ocean, even in that drop, what will be the salt content percentage?
Yeah, that is going to be the same, right?
Yes, it's going to be 30%.
30%.
So the drop, a drop from the ocean is qualitatively the same as the ocean, but the drop is very, very tiny compared to the ocean. The drop is infinitesimal, whereas the ocean is almost infinite. Of course, even oceans are finite, but this analogy is given. Now, similar is our connection with the Lord. We are qualitatively one the same as the Lord, but we are quantitatively very different. We are tiny and infinitesimal. But the Lord, Krishna, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is infinite. Actually, ocean and drop analogy is also incomplete because oceans are also ultimately finite, right? Although they are vast, very, very vast, but still they are finite, they are bounded. Lord Krishna is not bounded by anything. His glory is just unlimited, infinite. Okay, so Namaste Purusham Tvadyam. He is the origin of everyone, and yeah, although we are also transcendental, Prabhupada says here. Although all living entities are also transcendental. Right now, we are not transcendental. Right now, we are caught up in this cycle of birth and death. But our original nature is that we are transcendental. We are not residents of this material world. This material world is not our real home. Uh, who wants to die in this material world? Would does any one of us here feel that death is a very nice thing? It is a very welcome thing. Hmm? So none of us wants to die, right? None of the living entities want to die. Of course, some living entities commit suicide and all that is there, but that's because living has become more painful than death itself. So it's not that death is pleasurable for them, but it's just that they have become so fed up of living that living is more painful than death. So they prefer death. But actually, nobody wants death. Death is painful. It literally snatches away everything from us. Hmm? Uh, yes, of course, there is the pain of dying, but uh, even the pain of losing everything. When we lose a few dollars or when we lose something, we feel so painful, so pained at heart, right? Imagine death means everything being snatched away from us. Hmm? So nobody wants to die. Why? Why like this? Because it is not our nature to die. The Atma does not die. So death is an artificial or a superimposed position on the Atma. Hmm? Somehow the Atma is caught up in this cycle of birth and death. But ultimately, actually, we are transcendental. And what is the way to attain our transcendental position again? Is to reconnect with the Lord, to revive our lost loving relationship with the Lord. Hmm? That way, we also become transcendental. But what kind of transcendental beings do we become? We become like that, like a drop from the ocean. We can never become the ocean. Krishna is the ocean. Uh, of course, he's infinite. Even ocean is a small thing compared to Krishna. So, uh, yeah, we can never become quantitatively the same as the Lord, but we can become qualitatively the same as the Lord. So, yeah, just like we have this material world where we are caught up, struggling so hard, the scriptures inform us there's a spiritual world. Even the Bhagavad Gita speaks about it. Lord Krishna gives us some little bit of information about it in the Bhagavad Gita, 8th chapter, 15th chapter. There are some verses. So, in the 8th chapter, Lord Krishna says in 8.20 and 21, Parastasmattu bhavonyo vyakto vyaktat sanatanah yah sa sarveshu bhuteshu nashyatsu na vinashyati. अव्यक्तोऽक्षर इत्युक्तस्तमाहुः परमां गतिं यं प्राप्य न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम. तद्धाम paramam mama. That's uh, that is my supreme eternal abode. Hmm? So that is God's home, and we are also family members of God. We all are one big family, but somehow we have come to this material world, which is a foreign place for us, from where we can be kicked out anytime. How can we call a place where from where we can be kicked out anytime? How can we call it our home? Hmm? Home means we feel secure there, right? But this material world is such a place that we really cannot be secure anywhere. There's constant, it's in constant flux, and death can ultimately kick a person out of this body anytime. Hmm? So, scriptures also inform us that we are not owners of this body, we are tenants in this body. Hmm? So, how can we call this material world our home? So, the scriptures inform us our real home is the spiritual world. So, Prabhupada is in one line, he's telling us here that we are all transcendental actually. But yeah, we are vulnerable to falling down into the material nature and getting caught up in this cycle of birth and death if we make bad choices. If we misuse our free will, then yes, we can get caught up in this cycle of birth and death. Hmm? But the Supreme Lord is never like that. When Krishna comes into this material world, he comes by his own free will. He doesn't helplessly come like a crying baby from a mother's womb. When he comes by his own free will in his own majestic way, the way he wants. So, therefore, his birth is very divine. And he himself speaks about it in the Bhagavad Gita 4.6. Ajopi sannavyayatma bhutanam ishwaropi san prakritim swamadhisthaya sambhavamyatmamayaya. Atmamayaya. I descend by my own potency. So, yes, Namasya Purusham Tvadyam Ishwaram Prakrite Param. He is the Param Ishwar. Prabhupada informs us here that yes, all living entities are tiny Ishwaras to some extent. Ishwar as in controller. Okay. So yes, we all do have some or the other control, but we are not Param Ishwar. We are not Parmeshwar. Who is Parmeshwar? Only Krishna. Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu, Lord Ram. He is Parameshwar. We are Atma, but he is Param Atma, Paramatma. So he is the supreme controller of everything. And yes, the fact that Krishna is the supreme controller, it should not make us uh, insecure or jealous or anxious about anything. In fact, it is a very soothing reality. When we are in distress, when things are out of our control, and why do people go into depression? Because we human beings, we think that we are in control, and when situations go out of our control, we lose all hope. But in such situations, when we remember, no, there is a supreme controller, God, Krishna, and yes, uh, things are not in my control, but they are not out of control. They are still in Krishna's control. So let me take shelter of Krishna. This is such a soothing reality. What a wonderful shelter is Krishna. In the Bhagavad Gita 5.29, Krishna himself says, Bhoktaram yagna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhritam sarvabhutanam gnatva mam shantimrichhati. Krishna says, I am the enjoyer of all yagyas and tapasyas that living entities do. So basically, Krishna is the enjoyer of everything, ultimately, in the ultimate sense. And Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, Maha Ishwaram, Maheshwar. So Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, he is the supreme controller of all creations. Now, hearing these first two things may still make somebody feel a little morose and because these first two things are just addressing Krishna's position. But in the third sentence, Krishna says in this verse 5.29, Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam. I am the best well-wishing friend of all living entities. Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam. Sarva Bhutanam means all living entities. Gnatva Mam Shantim Richati. Somebody who understands me to be so attains supreme peace and happiness. So, yes, it's such a soothing and such a wonderful reality that Krishna is the supreme controller. Not even the big CEOs who may make decisions to lay off employees and not the presidents of big countries who may make decisions to engage in war and all. They are Ishwaras to some extent. They have some control. But the ultimate controller is Krishna. So, Namasya Purusham Tvadyam Ishwaram Prakrite Param. Now, Alakshyam Sarva Bhutanam Antarbahir Avastitam. Although he is situated within and without everything, he is, Krishna is literally. There are verses in scriptures that glorify how. Okay, here's one verse from Brahma Samhita. Ekopyasau rachayitum jagadanda yatshaktirasti jagadanda chayaya dantaha andantarastha paramanu chayantarastham govindamadipurusham tamaham bhajami. Lord Brahma himself composed these prayers. This is Brahma Samhita. So Lord Brahma says in Brahma Samhita that Lord Krishna, he can be tinier than the tiniest. And he is present within every atom. And he can be larger than the largest. All the creation can be inside him. So Uh, yeah, this is what Lord Brahma says in this verse. This is a glorification of Krishna. We see in this beautiful pastime of Krishna eating dirt and Mother Yashoda asking him to open his mouth. And when Krishna opens his mouth, what does she see? The entire creation in Krishna's mouth. This is not inconceivable for Krishna. It's completely um, possible for Krishna to be present even in the tiniest of tiny atoms and to also have the whole universe within him, hmm? The entire creation within him. Hmm? That's his glory. Our material minds may find it difficult to fathom. One particular thought helped me cross this line of faith and understand these kind of points. I used to earlier think uh, uh, in my 11th, 12th, I had so much interest in physics and all that. I really wanted to become a scientist actually. Hmm. So, and physics was my favorite subject. I would analyze the world in terms of physics and all. Of course, that time I hadn't come to Krishna consciousness. So, when I initially came to Krishna consciousness, and I heard that, oh, God is the controller of everything. And even the vast space, even the unlimited space is subordinate to God. So it took me some time to fathom, especially take understanding that God is above all time and all space. It took me some time to understand. I would still think, okay, but time is endless, right? So how can, yeah, God be the master of time also? Hmm? So I couldn't fathom that. But what helped me fathom that is, well, uh, if time is supreme, that means uh, at one point there must have been nothing. And somehow my mind, what I could fathom was, okay, there is God, but God came into existence at some point. That's what I used to think. What a foolish idea that was. It's quite absurd to think like that, that God came into existence at some point of time. Well, then, yeah, how did that happen? So, even if we logically think, there must be some reality which has always existed beyond any time factor. And that supreme reality is Krishna. Hmm? So, and similarly about space, what is space basically? This vast space that we see in the night. Now the sun is setting, soon it will be dark. When we look into the sky, it's vast, endless space, right? And I used to think that, okay, God must be really big, 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 covering vast sections of space. But how can all the space be within God? And how can space must be something higher than God also? Hmm? I used to think like that. Again, that was also a foolish idea. So, what this thought helped me fathom that if I'm willing to accept the fact that nothingness is present everywhere, then why is it difficult to accept the fact that God, Krishna, is present everywhere? Hmm? If we can put so much faith in nothingness, then why not put that faith in God? Hmm? Isn't it? Does this thought make sense, dear devotees? So, Krishna is above all time, above all space. He is the supreme reality. Hmm? And yeah, so now we were discussing this second line and how beautifully Prabhupada has explained it. Hmm? Uh, he is present within and inside everything and outside everything. Hmm? So, in this connection, we saw how Lord Brahma glorifies Krishna as, yeah, the supreme person who is present in every atom, and at the same time, all the universes are also within him. Hmm? So, that's Krishna's glory. And it's inconceivable for our tiny minds to understand God. We cannot even understand this whole world around us. What to speak of understanding God? Hmm? But yet, with simple, well reasoned faith, we can accept Krishna's supremacy. Like this thought, this I questioned myself in the beginning of my spiritual journey that, hey, well, if I'm anyways putting faith in this nothing space, in this vast empty space, which is basically nothingness, if I can fathom that it is huge and all pervading, why can't I fathom the fact that God is all pervading and he has dominion over everything? Hmm? Yeah, he can appear out of any, you go anywhere in the vast endless space, Krishna can appear there. So he's the master of all space as well. Hmm? So, yes, now, antar bahir avasthitam. Although Krishna is present everywhere, we will end with this beautiful thought to uh, take home. Actually, for those whose eyes are spiritually open, they can perceive Krishna everywhere, literally. In, in every aspect of creation, Krishna can be seen. Hmm? Today, I took my wife to the New England Aquarium, uh, and we were just mesmerized seeing Krishna's beauty in all the aquatics that he has created. In the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, this is the second last verse. We even recited it while in the aquarium. Yadyad vibhoti mat satvam shrimadurjitameva va tattadevavagachatvam mama tejom shasambhavam. Krishna says, I'm just opening that for you. This is 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, second last verse. Krishna is saying, know that all opulent, beautiful, and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. Whatever beauty we see around, be it beauty among human beings, some nice, beautiful madam or chokri, whatever, or be it beauty among other creatures, like beautiful fishes or beautiful animals. Visit any zoo. Uh, all beauty we see around is it's nothing but a tiny spark of Krishna's beauty. Hmm. So, uh, yes, for somebody whose eyes are spiritually open, he or she cannot miss seeing Krishna around. Hmm. So, that's how glorious and wonderful is Krishna. Hmm. For example, I can give some more examples, some of the latest examples. I and my wife, we have been discussing how, just like most of you here, I think are, all of you here are parents. In fact, you're seniors to me in this regard. I'm sure you may have also gone through this phase. Uh, it's so beautiful seeing how a child grows within a mother's womb. There's protective covering. Everything that the baby needs is provided. Hmm. And how wonderful. Some days ago, I and my wife, we were discussing when a living entity is born, a living entity doesn't know anything, right? Many times we hear people saying, right, I wasn't born with this knowledge. I also learned it with time. People, have you heard anybody say this? Hmm? Like I have heard my brother sometimes, when my elder brother, when trying to teach me something, he would just to encourage me to myself figure out something. He would say, it's not rocket science. You can uh, pick it up easily. I also wasn't born with this knowledge. So sometimes people say this, no, I wasn't born with this knowledge. So yes, it is true. We are not born with any knowledge of any sort. Hmm? But we are born with one knowledge. Can somebody guess what knowledge we are born with? Right after the baby is born, one thing the baby knows how to do without being taught. What is it?
Crying.
Cry for Yeah.
Crying, okay, fine. But there is a stronger example.
Hunger, sleep.
Drinking milk.
Yes, drinking milk from the mother's breast.
Mhm.
Wow, who taught the baby how to suck? Hmm? And one doctor recently told us that when a mother is pregnant, there are some changes on her body. The breasts develop some concentric circles, some darkish color develops. Hmm? And one doctor, American doctor, she was telling us, yeah, this happens because that helps the child find the source of nourishment. And we commented in front of the doctor, wow, what a creation of God. Hmm? And the doctor also nodded, yeah. Now we don't know whether she fully accepted this as God's miracle or not, but yeah, we literally exclaimed in front of the doctor, wow, what a miracle of God. Hmm? So the dark concentric circles that develop around a mother's breast nipple, why does that happen? It is to facilitate a baby to discover the source of nourishment. Hmm? And the baby knows how to suck the mother's breast. Hmm? How does that happen? Everywhere we see around, we can see Krishna's glory, his beautiful hand in creation. Now, human babies, when they are born, they cannot walk or crawl. It takes a few months, right? But if you see a baby deer, as soon as it is born, it knows how to run because deers need that ability to run away from tigers, lions, and all. And they've been given such an ability to run so fast. So wow, everywhere we see around. If our eyes are spiritually open, if we are sincere enough, we cannot miss Krishna around. Okay, so antar bahir avasthitam. He is present within and without everything. He cannot be missed. If somebody really wants to see him around, we cannot miss Krishna. But yet, alakshyam sarvabhutanam. Alakshyam means invisible. Sarvabhutanam. He is invisible to all living entities. Why? To those who want to live in forgetfulness of him, to those who want to lead shameless lives of forgetfulness of God, he has given them ample opportunity to live in forgetfulness of him. Hmm? And in fact, it is really surprising to see, and it's amazing to see how Maya, or the illusory potency of God, we will discuss more about Maya in the next 1 or 2 sessions, how Maya covers the vision of those who want to stay atheistic, those who want to shamelessly live in forgetfulness of God. For them, Krishna, through his illusory energy, gives them ample opportunity to forget God. Hmm? Uh, yeah, even in such miracles like how childbirth happens, those who want to live in forgetfulness of God, they will, even though they understand the biology deeply, they will still, the pride they feel in knowing how biology works, they will get so caught up in that pride that they will not give any credit to God. Hmm? This is quite ironical. When somebody studies, say, for example, we will end with this example now. If we study some car in detail, we all drive cars, right? But if suppose one of us decides to go deeper and try to understand how the car works, and we try to go deep and understand how every part of the engine interacts with each other, how the pistons fire, and how they make the wheels move, how energy is generated by combustion. When we understand that, uh, what should happen ideally? Should our appreciation for the creators of the car, should it increase, or should we rather get so caught up in pride over our knowledge about the car that we start thinking, oh, okay, now I understand the car. The car manufacturer is not needed anymore. Hmm? Let's forget the car manufacturer. Or should we rather give more credit to the car manufacturer, all the scientists who have used their brains to create the car? What should ideally happen? Would anybody like to say? Ideally, our appreciation should increase, right? Isn't it? The more we study the
Definitely.
car, sorry?
No, I said definitely. No. Sorry, go ahead.
Yes. So similarly, even when we study the science around, even when we study the world around, our appreciation for God should increase. And there were such nice scientists also. It's not that all scientists in the past have been atheists. Rather, big scientists like Newton, Einstein, they were all theists. They believed in God. And the more they understood the world around, the more their appreciation for God increased. Hmm? But still, the modern days atheists, they think that science is on their side. Science का झंडा हमारे side पे. And all these theists, they are unscientific. They are irrational. Somehow they uh, in the name of science, they try to. But atheism is also one type of faith, actually, if we carefully see. Hmm? Science is a neutral field. It just shows us how things around work. And both theists as well as atheists have contributed to science. But atheists somehow uh, take such an advantage of science, and somehow with word jugglery and jargons, they show that science का झंडा हमारे side पे है. Means the flag of science flutters on our side, and you guys are unscientific. Hmm? So actually, if we look around everywhere, Krishna can be perceived. But those who foolishly and shamelessly want to live in forgetfulness of him, he gives them ample opportunity to do so. Hmm? Okay, in our next sessions, we will see how Maya works. The next verses are, I think, yeah, Maya Javanika Channam. Maya, the illusion causing potency that makes us forget God. Hmm? So, Mother Kunti, she is expressing wonder how, although Krishna is, we cannot miss him, we cannot miss seeing him around, but still he is invisible to all living entities. How wonderful this is. If Krishna was, say, throwing babies from the sky, probably living entities would have wondered, oh, there must be some God. But the way he has even created childbirth is those who want to live in forgetfulness of Krishna, they will, uh, uh, despite knowing the biology, they will just not give any credit to Krishna. They will, yeah, give credit to some other random reactions. But those who want to see Krishna, they will see Krishna in everything around. Hmm? Okay, we will end here. Sorry, we went a little over time, 45 minutes. Any quick reflections? Anything you learned from today? Okay. Uh, okay, if nobody wants to share any reflections, we can end here. But I'm okay waiting if somebody wants to share something. Okay. Thank you, dear devotees. Thank you for joining us. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.